Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 10th episode of the Franchise Hour, which is brought to you by Active Franchise Consultancy and the Filipino International Franchise Association. With us as guests today are Mr. Billy Belen of Nothing But Laundry and Mr. Kaloy Ang of SADS, probably the biggest laundry group today in the Philippines, and I'm happy about that since he's my client for the franchise development. So I'm really happy to hear that he did very good and he became very big in his industry. It seems Billy is kind of frozen right now. His internet seems to have some problems. We also have a third party invited, Miss Joyce Heo, the owner of Dr. Spin, but she has an emergency in Batangas and she just texted me that she won't be able to join us. But that doesn't really matter because we have very competent speakers with Kaloyang in particular, since he did already several events with me now. Already a routine in that joining our events, what we have about franchising and generally about business. So let's start with you. Kaloy, how did you actually come to the idea of getting into the laundry business?
Well, 18 years ago, RK, we were so young, me and my wife, and fresh grad, but we always wondered what it's like to set up your own business. We have no idea how to set up a business. There are no businessmen in the family. We were the first. So we said that maybe laundry can be something we can do as a start. And yeah, we thought we could have a punching shot here in the Marinas Cavite. So we took it.
What did you do actually before?
I
You
was
were
an
unemployed?
Yeah, I was an engineer for Intel Philippines. I was a quality and reliability engineer.
Okay. Okay. So you got your first job.
Yeah,
That was 18 years ago.
17
Two,
years ago.
17 years ago. Okay,
Yeah.
2002. Okay, cool.
Yes.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Tell your story.
All right. So yeah, we wanted to just start a business. Me in particular, I really wanted to. I was really interested. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. That was the kind of the seed that let me think that running a business might be better than just being employed. Um, so I was really wondering what I can do with a little. We only had a really small amount of capital that time, but well, we loaned from families and relatives, and we decided to put up a shop in Dasmariñas, Cavite, and nobody came. That's the first 3 months we were really struggling, and it's good that we have rainy seasons here because when the rains came, we finally got a break, and it started from there. We saw that it was growing well, so we decided to focus our energy on building the business instead. And after 8 years, when we started, no, sorry, 2003 we started. 2008 we called you, and so here we are. We started franchising, and after a while, we went into industrial laundry, and so now we are everything into clothing care already. So we have many brands that I'll show later.
Why laundry in the first place, Carlos?
It
Why
was
not food or salon or why laundry?
well in my when I analyzed it, I did not want to go to food because I thought that food was you could if your concept is a hit, it would be good, but there's this perishable items that it's kind of hard to manage for a young rookie, it didn't occur to me to no, I don't want to deal with that yet. So detergent is better because it does not, it does not
Doesn't spoil.
perish. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's ask Billy, who is with us again. Billy. Hello, Billy. He has a problem with the internet, it seems. We keep on losing him. Uh, let's try it again to add him. But it seems he's frozen again in time. All right. So, okay, let's continue, Kaloy. We just hopefully have a better line with Billy later. So, 2003 you started, then 2008 you called us.
Yes.
How did it go on afterwards?
Well, we started franchising. What gave us a break was Intel at that time was closing, and many of my friends had a bit of cash uh, because they had packages, and they said, "How do we start a business?" I was not thinking of franchising that time, to be honest. It
Hmm.
was not one of the plans, but one of my friends said, "You should try it." So which is why I called you because I didn't want to just do it on my own. I knew that it was a legal investment.
I like your friends.
He was at my shop. He was already taking notes on what I was doing. I said, "Hey, dude, let's do this properly. We cannot just do this on our own because I don't know if I get into a legal setback." And I'm really glad I did that move because I learned a lot from franchising from you and from other franchisors now, from many from the federation, from the groups. So that's how we started, and we started slow franchising, not a lot of
Yeah.
shops in the first few years, but it gained traction in about 5 years, and so yeah, here we are. That's how we grew.
How was your operation during the pandemic now?
So our laundry was split into retail and industrial laundries. The retail,
Okay.
since we were forced to close because of the quarantines, well, it took a hit, just like many other retail businesses now. Um, we had to follow the quarantine, and people are not coming out, which is really understandable. Um, so, but the industrial laundry kind of increased in volume because of the demand for hospitals. We are specialists in hospital laundry right now. So we work with the Europeans for their disinfection protocols, and that's what we bring here. And industrial laundry is pretty okay right now. It's stable.
That sounds good. What do you think? How will it go on in the future now?
We think slowly that people will go back, but I think it's gonna be depending on when the vaccine will come. But there will be a lot of permanent changes with the way people do business now. So even in SUDS, none of our businesses are the same. We have introduced disinfection level washes. We have started to work with other institutions to guide them on how to disinfect textile properly. And there's this all online mobile thing. So I think people are getting used to ordering online, even laundry. So we're preparing for that.
But that's excellent. What about the supplies, especially during pandemic? Any difficulties there, or is it available
Yeah, very
or
difficult.
challenging?
During the early days, we were trying to order detergent from Germany. And the problem is what's going on here is also going on there. So they are going to work 3 times a week and working from home. So preparation of the paperwork, the shipping and everything took a while. So there's a lag in the supply chain right now that is affecting everybody. But it's much better now since the since the early days of the quarantines worldwide. It's speeding up, it's normalizing.
That sounds good. All
Yeah.
right, we have Billy again here. I hope it works. Billy is frozen again. All right, we hope we still have a half an hour to go, so no problem with that. We hope that he will be unfrozen in the meantime,
Yes.
and we can have him join in the program. Kaloy, if you
Yes.
want, please show us your presentation about your company, about your franchise, the whole group, what you're doing.
Sure.
Feel free to take the time, okay?
Okay,
So that
sure.
all our readers and listeners know about SADS, Kaloy Ang, and all the great things which are coming up
Uh,
with him. All right?
okay, sure. Let me share
Do
my
your
screen.
screen share, please.
Okay. Do you see it?
Not yet. There you go. Okay, there we go.
Okay, let me. So such has transitioned from the laundry business into what we call the clothing care business. And why is it clothing care? Because we take care of everything from industrial textile to regular household textiles, clothing, to the coutures, fashion designers. So we don't just do the service, we also um, deal with the chemicals. We work with Chrysler of Germany. They're one of the best textile care chemicals in the world. We're the distributors here, and we also use advanced machines to complement everything. So we're into machines, chemicals, service, and that's why we call it now the clothing care business. The advantages of clothing care are many. So it is stable, but it depends on the type of business. Retail took a bit of a hit in the pandemic, but industrial laundry was stable. Um, Pandemic aside, if there are just financial disturbances, retail laundry is pretty stable too because we went through a financial crisis also, but we were not affected. That was, I think, 10 years ago. And clothing care has many income streams. Like you do carpet cleaning, you do industrial laundry, wet cleaning, cleaning for dry cleaning, and a lot more. So it's not glamorous, and people really don't see the potential of the market. But before the pandemic, the clothing care industry has been around at the level of 10 billion pesos. So that's just for laundry and household laundry and industrial laundry. So, but we needed more rooms, so that figure should increase as we continue to revive from the COVID-19 issue. So it's a quiet market, but it's really stable and big. So Suds Clothing Care, we have three main drivers for our business. Suds Go Cleaners, which we franchise here in the Philippines, Reviva Luxury Garment Care, and Aquion Industrial Laundry. Suds Go Cleaners started with a regular laundry shop, full service, 17 years ago, and it has evolved as the market evolved. There were a lot of self-service laundries that came up about 5 years ago up to the present, and we had a hybrid full service and self-service shop called Suds Go. This is not yet that, but then we transitioned from that concept and we said that I think we should be more advanced because we are preparing to sell the business, the package, the brand outside of the Philippines. So we needed to have a world-class concept that could be placed anywhere in the world and it would still function as it should be. So we talked with the Italians to use their internet connected machines. It is the first in the world. They've been internet connected since 5 years ago, and it's very nifty because If you can see here, there's like an iPad on top. That's actually the washing machine controls. So it's touch screen. If there's an error, I could just troubleshoot it from our base. We don't need to send a technician right away. We could email the machine programs that is needed to process stuff. Everything is programmable, so we could change all the parameters from water levels, heating elements, the spin speed, the agitation, the time, you name it, we can change it. So it's very advanced. Um, and on top of that, for the customer, they just need to scan a QR code and they will know what the machines are doing inside the store. So if it's a hybrid self-service, full-service store, you don't need to leave your condo or your house yet to go line up in our store because you will see that the machines are still being used or not. Okay. So this is an example of monitoring what you will see when you logged in and punch the QR code or scan the QR code. You will see that two machines here are on standby and one is actually being used for drying. And on top of this, because of the pandemic, these machines that we're using now are really disinfecting ready. Disinfection, professional disinfection of textile requires a certain parameter heat and time and water level, which these machines can do. So we're introducing Sud Super Clean, which I'll talk about more later. But these machines can really disinfect. When we say disinfect, it's a very serious word in Germany. You don't just claim you're disinfecting something because the police or the law can catch you and say you're not disinfecting at all. So when we claim disinfecting, it really means world class disinfecting protocol. And apart from that, you can do basic wet cleaning already. So we're blazing the trail also for that, replacing dry cleaning with wet cleaning, which is more environment friendly and more sustainable. Our second brand, which is not for franchising, but we're showcasing it here because we also brought wet cleaning to the Philippines and partnering with Chrysler, who invented wet cleaning. Chrysler is from Germany, the company that invented wet cleaning, 1990s. We talked to them, we trained with them, and we created Reviva with them, which is a luxury garment care uh, wet cleaning store. So we can clean anything, sensitive items, without using the gasoline kind of chemical called perchloroethylene, which is actually cancer causing. So here's a bit more of Reviva. Okay, and our big brother concept is called Aquion Industrial Laundry. So Aquion is just a silent big brother, but it deals with the bulk laundry for major hospitals in the country. And in fact, what you're seeing here in the picture that looks like a tube is called the tunnel washer. Um, this thing here can wash 2,000 kilos of laundry in 1 hour. So to give scale to that, we have an industrial laundry here. You can see it pictured here below it. Using these machines, we have 13, sorry, 4, 8, 11 of these big machines in that laundry, and we can only process about 5,000 kilos to 7,000 kilos per day. This tunnel washer can wash 2,000 kilos in 1 hour. So it's really fast, it's really automated. And next year, we will be building the longest tunnel washer in the Philippines uh, through Aquion Industrial Laundry. So we're also silently into this business, and we have come to evolve to serve hospitals, and we have focused on really disinfecting. We don't use regular washers for hospitals. We use this type here. If you can see my arrow, it is a double door washing machine called a barrier washer, where the clean side and the dirty side are separated by a physical wall. So you really could not touch the dirty linen anymore. If it is clean, the other door opens and the operator could not cross the wall. Another operator gets the clean laundry from the other side. So we've been doing this without fanfare. This is the proper way to do hospital laundry, and the pandemic has highlighted the need for us to prevent hospital-related infections. And we are really glad that we purchased these machines and we did the right protocols because we are helping the hospitals prevent COVID from spreading because of it. Um, Okay, so these are our three brands. We do everything from social, luxury garment care, all the way to regular laundry and industrial laundry. What are we proud of? We've always focused on quality. The pictures here tell a thousand words. The Reviva, in Reviva, even if it's a couture design, really sensitive items, um, it's not even agitated much in the machines. It's like in every minute, the machine just moves 3 seconds. That's how gentle Reviva is. But look at how clean the gown here after we process it. And it's not bleach because chlorine bleach can destroy your fabric. So it is white because we cleaned it properly, not because we just bleached it, which is removing the color. Okay, and in Aquion, these are the before and after. In one wash, we have achieved a high degree of cleanliness for a bunny suit for a semiconductor company. Um, well, innovation, we're the first to build the franchise management software that manages our business. We brought wet cleaning into to the Philippines retail market. We were the first to bring non-toxic bio-based, which means it's made from corn. Uh, it's called the System K4, and it's the new dry cleaning solvent that we use. So we also do dry cleaning, but not the cancer-causing perchloroethylene. And we use internet-connected machines to power our Suds Go cleaners. These are the brands that some of the brands that trust us and our Reviva, Suds Go cleaners, and Aquian names. And then the pandemic hit, so we are a business that's quick to adapt. Last July, we had a talk with Chrysler chief chemist Dr. Saiter and Steve Champion, and we talked about how to disinfect. Major hospitals, the Philippine Textile Research Institute, and other hotel brands attended it so that we're helping the industry because we don't pretend to be the experts. At that time, we were helping each other. We were helping other laundries to cope with how to treat the textiles so we don't spread them. But now Super Clean has gained traction and we are launching it. We are informing people by creating a comic book with Mommy Lara versus a gang of viruses that you can see here. And even though it looks cute, our message is really serious. Um, the top concerns we collaborated with PSRC, a research company here in the Philippines, and we saw that most 50% of the people are really concerned about the safety of their clothes when they outsource it to services like Suds. And so we really did our research and tailor fitted all the services. Now we pivoted and instead of just cleaning the surroundings, the machines, the surfaces, we also really focus on how do we disinfect the textile inside the washing machines. And so we work with Chrysler and put two major products from Chrysler that have disinfecting power, and it is um, recognized by the Robert Koch Institute of Germany, which is their high tech DOH. Um, it's listed in the RKI website as a disinfectant. So it's really certified, the protocols that we're using. Here's our response. So instead of the regular suds, we now launch a brand called Suds Super Clean, which offers disinfecting services and products. And we will have a website launching soon. But in all our stores, you will see Super Clean very soon. We have received the products that we can use for disinfecting your clothes. Um, so we're really excited to launch this. So that's our response to the pandemic. We're telling people that, yeah, apart from contactless payments, contactless laundry, we are really looking into taking care of your safety concerns. And so we are really disinfecting the washes that we are doing because that is what I would do if it is the clothes of my kids. So, um, Mommy Lara versus the Virus Gang is, you can see this on our Facebook, Suds Super Clean, and there's a story there that is unwrapping as we go. And in the comics, you will see how Mamilara is fighting these viruses. Okay, so well, if you're interested to franchise, I'd be glad to assist you. But for now, I'm just talking about our brands. Um, for clothing care, there's a significant advantage over food because it's not an impulse buy, and your regular customers are really highly loyal to you. This ends this presentation about our brand, our general umbrella, Suds Clothing Care. Um, Archie, do I have time to share another one? Or hello?
Yes. So go ahead and share the other.
Okay. So I'd like to talk more this time about the Suds Go Cleaners, which is a franchise available. Let me share that quickly. Okay, so out of the three main brands that we have, Suds Go Cleaners, Reviva Luxury Garment Care, and Acrion Industrial Laundry, only Suds Go Cleaners is for franchise here in the Philippines. Um, yeah, so we're one of the top three in the Philippines. So we've got really good other brands, competitors. But as you can see, if you've listened before, we're not really just focusing on laundry, we're focusing on the whole clothing care. So the advantage here is if you have a problem, industrial laundry is there to help. Reviva is there to help in terms of tribal knowledge. Okay, this is a lot of words, but yeah. So welcome to Suds. This is how our store looks like. And the Suds Go Cleaner store, like I said, is hybrid full service and the most advanced store, laundry store in the Philippines. So it can do the most basic cleaning like jeans or everyday t-shirts up to wet cleaning. So it is highly programmable. It is automated, and so we can really tailor fit the programs and the chemicals that is being dispensed to clean jeans or winter clothes. So this cannot be done in other laundry shops because you cannot change the way the machines spin. You have maybe 3 to 5 programs, but for our machines in Suds Go Cleaners, you can have 1,000 different programs with 1,000 different combinations of RPM, water levels, heating elements, heating temperature, and chemicals. The Suds Go Cleaners has a lot of income streams. It's not just self-service and full-service laundry. We also accept shoe cleaning through our SNCS shoe cleaning care. If you have a friend who owns a hotel, then by all means, you don't need to buy a machine. Just bring it to us, and we can process that deal. We can process the operations for you, and you will still earn from that. If you need carpet cleaning, we are franchisees of ChemDry here in the Philippines, which is a hypoallergenic carpet cleaning service. I've talked about Super Clean, and this is our response to the pandemic. And we're really proud of the machines that we use. It's the most advanced, not just in the Philippines, but in the world. So if you look at other machines and ask them, are you connected to the internet? There's about two more brands that connect to the internet, but you will need a lot of other gadgets to for them to connect their machines, and it's clunky and expensive. Our machines have been awarded the Red Dot Award for design, and the Italians really did a good job. It's like a Ferrari of the washing machines in the Philippines. And you can just scan a simple QR code, and you can see what the machines are doing from the comfort of your home. So why choose the Suds franchise over others? Well, like I said, it's not just laundry that you're buying. You're not just buying machines. You're buying solutions to people's problems. Like you can tailor fit whatever the needs of your clients may be. May it be a household, a hotel, an SM cinema, Meralco. We clean the carpets for those. Just go to them, offer our services, and you have a lot of income stream by choosing Suds. Yeah, we're one of the biggest, and we're putting in the longest tunnel washing system next week in the Philippines. We're excited to do that. Um, yeah, we have carpet cleaning, which is hypoallergenic. We don't use harsh chemicals. So as you can see in all my talks, we really have removed harsh chemicals from any of our services. From dry cleaning to carpet cleaning to laundry, we've used chemicals that have been proven to be gentle to humans and gentle to the planet. Chrysler is from Germany. Chrysler Textile Care. They're partners and they're really good. I'm really amazed by how they treat laundry chemistry, and we're really glad that we represent them in the Philippines. So Chrysler is in all our products and our services. We have a franchise management system called Slingshot that can help you manage your store better. And of course, support wise, all our franchisees are in one Viber group. So we have to be careful because if we don't serve them well, our reputation is on the line. But here they are. We support them individually and as a group, and we respect the talents and the intelligence of our franchisees. We listen to them, and many of our innovations have actually come from their suggestions. Because we are not the only smart people in the room. Actually, a lot of our franchisees are really smart, like IT managers, marketing managers from top companies. So it would be a pity if we don't hear them out from with their ideas, right? So we are a team here, and we support them, and we work as a family, as a tribe. and we're after solutions. So it's not like it's just self-service. No, we tailor fit. If you see an opportunity in clothing care, we're here. We can tailor fit everything we know to help you. Investment starts at 2.3 million, and the ROI pre-pandemic was 3.5 years. So it's gonna be a bit longer, to be honest, if you start now. But with all the income streams that SUDS provides and all the support, we can guide you to be prudent in starting a business. We don't pressure you to start now, start now. We need to think about the timing and how we're gonna be smart about putting up a business in these tough times. These are frequently asked questions, which you can ask me in email. But that's it. Thank you very much. I'm Kaloy Ang. You can write Facebook or you can email me directly. Here. This is my contact numbers. I'm done.
Thank
Are
you
you?
so, thank you so much, Kaloy, for your extensive presentation. Billy,
Hi. Good
hi.
afternoon.
Finally, we can
Yeah.
see and hear you.
My next
And
business is internet connection.
yeah. And please, we do the same thing with you now. We will
Yeah.
do the presentation. First of all, I want to ask you, Billy, when did you start actually a business?
I started my business in April of '03.
So
I
more or
opened my
less,
first store in Quezon City.
all right. So more or less, you started at the same time as also Caloy started,
Yes, yes.
2003. Okay.
Mhm.
What brought you to the idea going into the laundry business as a guy?
Well, before I opened the business, I used to work in IT. So I've been in IT since '91. And then
Okay.
since I opened the business, I left IT thinking that there was that need for topical service in high residential condominiums, which is
Hmm.
essentially where we're focused.
Right.
So when we talk of high residential condominiums, we're talking of properties in the range of maybe 1,000 to 10,000 households.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Good. So let's go with the presentation, Billy.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
How do we do this? All right.
All right. So scroll it down. So you
Okay,
actually,
scroll up. No need for that. Yeah. Wait. Do I, or I'll just take, okay, just next, please. Yeah. So, well, basically, I put together a presentation that will first distinguish perhaps comparing a laundry franchise with essentially another franchise business. So, uh, yeah, moving on. So the say next slide. Okay. So these are the things that I would normally discuss with my prospective franchisees. First would be their barrier to entry, the consideration of entering into a service based franchise versus retail, the hierarchy of needs in any household, uh, fashion and fad. I'm pertaining to businesses that grow so fast quite quickly, and then they kind of fade away in a matter of 2, 3, 4 years. And then lastly would be the sustainability and high touch. Uh, Next slide. Yeah, okay. So the barrier to entry would of course be first technology. So the available products that we have, and how we intend to translate that to what customers can use. Okay, so when it comes to our laundry, we're essentially focused on full service. We do not do self-service for our own reasons. Uh, what we're focused on would be the revenue stream that we get to promise our franchisees. Okay, which is why all our stores to date are only using the industrial type washers that come from the US, and we kind of process retail laundry in bulk. Okay, now, capitalization would be around anywhere from 2.2 million to about 6 million, depending on the intention of why a franchisee would wish to venture into laundry. Okay, next slide. All right. Uh, Part of starting a laundry business would be, of course, your partners. For my case, I have stayed with my original suppliers, contractors, architects, and the chemical suppliers since 2003. So I've been with them for 17 years already. So any problems that I have, we actually rely on our partners also, from coming to our stores for service, or if we're getting customer complaints, we get to bring that up with our partners. Next slide. All right. I think Kaloy touched on this a while ago. So the difference of well, service versus retail, any retail. So there is actually value-added selling versus just merely cost of goods sold. We actually, apart from selling detergents, softeners, and cleaning chemicals, we actually make use of these things and charge customers a certain rate. And because of it, the revenue stream is quite abundant. We have our from our basic run of wash and fold to high ticket items like dry cleaning, carpet cleaning, fabric restoring. Okay, and then the recurring business for with customers versus one time. In our experience, every customer, we get to assign them a particular day because, like anything, laundry is a routinary task for any individual. So just like when you go to the market, when you clean your house, laundry is something that is normally scheduled. So we get to expect these things to come back to us. For example, a particular customer would normally send their laundry to us every Monday. We expect that to be happening every week. So that's what we meant by recurring business with customers versus, let's say, if you're into retail, if you're selling goods, there's really no guarantee that a customer will come back every time at a particular time to buy the same thing from you. That's what we meant. Next slide, please. All right. So, just like what I said, anticipative demand, no? So basically, whether it's our own store or a franchise store, from day zero, we get to already forecast the revenue stream, the income level of the store from the time that we open. And we base that, of course, our metrics of measure would be the density of the property versus our production capacity, our ability to process the whole community. That's why in our biggest property to date has about right now about 8,000, a little over 8,000 households, and we are able to process, well, not physically everybody. But anybody who comes to the store, we get to accommodate them. So that is possible because at the time that we opened the store, we already sat down with the franchisee and we planned out already the uh, the required equipment to service the whole community. So it's not something that we open the store and then let's see, how it goes. No, at the time of opening, to the at the time of this presentation, we have never renovated any of our stores. When we open the store, the production capacity is already there. Next slide, please. All right. So why laundries? So this is the same question Rudolph posed earlier. Uh, well, my foremost reason for getting into the laundry business is because first it's service based. Second, it's not something that will go away anytime soon. Even at the time of this pandemic, I think laundry was one of the more resilient businesses that stayed on because we're not really susceptible to seating capacity for as long as our customers do not crowd at the reception. We're quite all right because the customers that are not involved in the physical cleaning of their items. And the other things would be these are routinary chores that are more or less frowned upon. No? If people can get away from doing their own laundry, they do it. So that's the reason that laundry has been very pervasive in the past, I would say maybe 10, 15 years. All right. So what I mean with the not when but who, it's not a question whether an individual will send their items to a laundromat. It's a question who they'll send it to. But it's never a question if they will or not. Okay, the cultural component, the economic component, and the high acceptance all points to the laundry business won't be going away anytime soon. Okay, next slide, please. All right. So hygiene is always in fashion. I would normally make a joke with my franchisees during our regular meetings that even at the height of the pandemic, uh, nudity has not been in fashion. No? So people still have to change their clothes. People have to still send their items to a laundromat. So it's something together with, I would say, maybe a water station, a pharmacy, a convenience store. A laundry business would be something that would be classified as an essential business, even at the time of a pandemic. Right. Next slide, please. All right. So the because we focus on the high density communities, so we're not really present in the typical residential areas. It's mostly on condominiums, no. So the social contribution that we provide the community is it's a ready amenity. It's a ready amenity that the developers can provide their residents, which allow higher occupancy, higher tenancy in any property. The economic impact, of course, apart from helping out the community, these are mostly occupied by single or two income households. Meaning, if you're single, you're mostly attending to your day job or your business. If you're a couple, still a two income family. So there's really no room for actually doing your own laundry. And even if you wanted to, the condos nowadays do not really provide a washing area, that is true to by definition. In the 90s, maybe if they gave you a washing area, you could actually fit a washer and dryer. Now, the only definition they have of a washing area in a condominium is the flooring is finished differently. Okay, so if you're living in a condominium, chances are, apart from availing other services like a convenience store, water, you'd really have to send your items to a laundromat because you cannot physically do your own laundry. All right, next slide. All right. This is the last point why you should pursue a laundry business. Uh, as a franchisee, uh, the the metrics of measuring the efficiency of the store is in part divided into maybe three elements that a franchisee can easily monitor if he or she visits the store physically or even by phone call or just by watching the CCTVs. So it's not something that a franchisee would really want to do, hang around the store for the entire day, especially in our stores. We actually operate from 6 to 10 every day. So in an entire year, we only close on Good Friday, Christmas Day, and the New Year's. So the 362 other days, we're actually operating from 6 to 10. And in the better performing stores, we're actually operating 24 hours. Okay, so if if you are operating the store that way 24 hours, it would be good to be able to monitor them any which way you want, whether you visit the store regularly, you visit the store just by looking at the cameras, or even by just calling the staff just to find out how are things going on, how are things are going with the items being processed for that day. Next slide, please. All right. Now, these would now be the elements to because the way we go about our business is we first present the revenue stream to the franchisee because as we grew to appreciate, every franchisee would have a different objective of why they would even want a franchise or even consider a franchise. So based on the revenue stream that they wish to realize in the store, then we go through these six elements. First being location, the density of the property, site production capacity, the store operation, the ability of the store to scale, and of course, the quality of service. No, so next slide. Okay, so in the location, as I said earlier, we are most of the time located in high density areas rather, because we are actually banking on the ability of the store to actually process in large volumes for the franchisee to realize their revenue stream. So mostly in business districts, we actually we locate the store wherein customers would easily spot us within the property. So we rarely locate ourselves in areas at the back of any building. It's normally near places where residents and customers would congregate. It would be probably near some of the properties amenities like the pool, the admin office, and what have you. No. All right. Like okay. Now, the territory density pertains to the number of households. Okay, so since we focus on residential condominiums, uh, we're looking at unit densities ranging from 1,000 to maybe 5,000. Okay, but our biggest so far is a 10,000 unit density property. Now, uh, Class of development would also play a factor. Whether if you locate in a, let's say, a class C property, then the computation of the revenue stream would be a little different. Let's say if you located in a close community, let's say an example would be BGC or Makati or maybe in Ortigas. Okay, because the class of development would also determine the mix of your services. So an extreme example of this, if you locate yourself in downtown Manila near the schools, well, pre-COVID, your revenue stream would be predominantly wash and fold. But let's say you locate yourself in the business districts, a bulk of your revenue stream would actually come from high ticket items like dry cleaning, carpet cleaning, curtain restoration, and what have you. Right? Of course, the sellout percentage, I'm pertaining to how much of the property is already sold. And the occupancy rate, of course, is how many households are actually being occupied. Okay, next slide. All right. So now that you've identified the market for it, the next step would be making sure that you're able to process everyone that comes to your store. So uh, we talk about capacity planning, of course, the reliability of the equipment. That because if if the mean time between breakdowns are quite often, then of course you get backed up more quickly, and that will translate to customer dissatisfaction. Okay, the duty cycle of the machines. In the 17 years that I've been in operations, I'll turn 18 next year. I'm still using the same machine. We've merely changed fan belts, consumables, rubber gaskets, and what have you. But it is essentially the same machines that I used way back in '03, '05, '07, '08, and quite recently, 2014 and 16. Okay. Now, the processes and checkpoints are the ones that I mentioned earlier, that whether a franchisee would be physically in the store or not, he or she would be able to monitor the the the, the stage wherein the store is at any time of the day. Okay. Of course, the service and warranties would mean the arrangements you have with your suppliers, your equipment manufacturers, even your service contractors. Next slide, please. All right. Okay. This is a little detailed already when it comes to implementation of procedures, internal processes. Next slide, please. All right. So I talked about this a little earlier, the scalability. So the load planning actually occurs on, for example, our most recent store opening. We actually opened the store um, 4 months after the property announced they're ready for occupancy. So at the time that we were constructing, there was really nobody there living yet. But at the time of opening, the property actually had, I think, 30% occupancy. So this is what we mean by day zero load planning. That based on how you read the property, you actually put the necessary equipment and processes in place to actually accommodate the entire property, even if it gets to critical mass or full occupancy. So there won't be any need for expanding to the next space or installing new machines mid-operation or during the franchise period, because everything has been predetermined at the time of your opening. Next slide, please. Of course. Okay. The quality of service. So this is very important because we have planned for our in all the properties that we operate in. We are able to give out the same quality of service, whether it's our only customer or even our 99 customer for the day. This is made possible because the machines that we have in our back room are actually high efficiency washers that can process customer articles in bulk. Okay, the law of averaging pertains to because we handle a lot of customers on a daily basis. uh, the law of averaging tells you that you are bound to upset one, two, or three customers every day. So the reason we put this as a key element also because a franchisee would have to be available to address these customer complaints. Of course, if you don't have any customers sending their laundry to you, you don't get complaints at all. But if you get customers in bulk, then of course expect complaints to arise, and of course franchisees have to be present to address that. Although by practice, all the complaints are actually directed to me first, and then I cascade that to the franchisees. Next slide, please. Okay, next slide. All right. So, uh, okay, I'll talk about a little of the benefits of the franchise laundry franchising, outsourcing efficiencies, and of course, you operations. Next slide. All right. So, time and savings actually pertains to uh, uh, the customers actually bringing their business to us, no? Uh, because as I said, it is considered to be an essential business for any community. We expect customers to actually patronize us at the time of our opening. Now, franchising, I always tell prospective franchisees this. What they're actually buying from us would be the 17 years of mistakes and lessons that we have, that we've learned through the years, that they don't have to go through themselves. Because having been in the business for that long, I don't think there's anything more than what we've experienced in the past years that will occur in the life of a franchisee's business with us. Now, the technique to handle huge volumes, of course, that's something that we cascade to our franchisees, because, as I said, the first thing we present to the prospective franchisees is the revenue stream. How that gets translated to a physical store in a particular property is something that we walk them through step by step. Next slide, please. All right. So, okay, outsourcing efficiency. So, apart from residential laundry, we actually cater to a few institutional customers also. So, uh, before we even allow a franchisee to take in an institutional customer, we make sure that, number one, we are able to actually do good work for that customer. Second, we get to customize a particular process for that uh, institutional customer, and then from there on in, we leave that to the franchisees to just keep doing that, and then uh, it's something that they actually it's a revenue stream that they can put on top of their baseline revenue, which is residential laundry. Next slide, please. I talked about that a while ago. So next slide, please. All right. So the same math for our franchise package. Okay. For our basic store franchise, it's 2.1 million with the residential density of about 2,000 households and a revenue stream. Well, this is pre-COVID. Right now, I would put this a little north of about 280 revenue. So at 280,000, that's an ROI a schedule of about 18 to 20 months. Now, for institutional and residential laundry, the math there is a little different. So it's about 6 million capitalization, including the franchise and the setup, and then a gross revenue of about a million. I would put that in the north of about 800,000 now that we're in COVID. Okay, and the franchise period is 5 years, and on average, I would safely put the equipment duty cycle to be about 8 to 12 years based on my experience. All right. Okay. So, well, this is just well, some notes for running a successful franchise. First would be the management of utilities. Because next slide, please. Because since well, I think since our business is highly susceptible to a lot of increases in electricity, water, gas, gasoline, everything increases. But unlike our utilities, we don't get to increase our prices every other week or every month or even every year. So the management of these consumables, these utilities, would actually be very essential. This would uh, play a difference in the month-on-month income of any of our stores, whether it's company-owned or franchise, whether it would be skewing more towards the franchisee's profit, or it would skew towards operational expenses. Okay, next slide, please. The consumables, well, our consumables are very predictable. It's just that all the cleaning chemicals that we require in processing customers' articles. Next slide, please. Okay, so the management of breadth and depth. Well, ARPU is actually a telco term. It's actually actual revenue per user, but we translate that to actual revenue per customer. So I mentioned a while ago that we have different revenue streams. You have your basic wash and fold. You have your wash and press, your pressing items. As a customer progresses with the store, we realized that when they started with us, they merely sent their office clothes, some of their more pricier clothes. Down the line, they actually send us their curtains, their carpets, their dry clean items, their formal wear, their office. So that increases the revenue stream per customer. So if we're talking of, let's say, a customer ranging with a nominal job order of maybe 250 pesos, we actually have customers that every time they come to us, they actually have a job order amount of maybe 1,000 pesos to maybe 1,300 pesos per job order. That's because they either send more of their items to us, or they actually avail of our other services like fabric restoration, carpet cleaning, curtains, and comforters. No? Of course, the customer count is also important because without it, we won't be able to achieve the revenue stream that we actually promised the franchisee. Okay, the attrition rate and the customer churn were pertaining to. I mentioned earlier that we have managed to identify most of our customers as to the day they actually bring their laundry to us. So we just don't look at all the customers that send their laundry to us in a particular month, but we actually look at the customer on what day they send their laundry to us and how often they send it to us. So a typical customer that we have would send their laundry to us about 4 or 5 times a week. And we actually track that customer to make sure that if that customer doesn't come back next week, then we try to investigate whether that customer just forgot to send their laundry to us, or whether there's a customer issue that we need to resolve with that particular customer. All right. The the management of resources in a typical laundry shop, you only have these 6 elements, no, or rather 5. We have our washers, our dryers, our steamers, our flat irons, and our hanging rods. These are the rods that we use to hang large items, let's say carpet, comforters, and curtains. Okay, so we're pertaining to the upkeep, because if I always tell my customers, no, in Tagalog, uh, these machines are well, in Tagalog, mahirap masira pero madaling sirain. No, so very robust. As a matter of fact, their duty cycle is very high. Pero kung the franchisees or the staff are careless, these machines would break down more often than usual. So taking care of them also plays a role in our ability to hit our revenue targets. Next slide, please. All right. So the multiple storefronts pertain to what we actually offer area franchise. We're offering area franchises to particular areas in the metro. So these are multiple storefront setups with the primary store as your production. So these would be suitable for franchisees that see beyond the 5-year horizon with us. So if they intend uh, to keep doing the business even beyond our first franchise period, we normally offer the area franchise to them. So you have a production a store that has its production, and then multiple satellite pickup and drop-off station. Of course, the institutional laundries, we actually cater to a few hotels, health clubs. Well, this was pre-COVID. Now, not much on the resorts and spas. All right, next slide. Okay. So, well, this would be the next step to anyone who would be interested to find out more, or to even pursue laundry franchise. Then you can just contact me. You know. My details are also with RK, you know, with Rudolph. Next slide. Oh, so that concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Billy. It was excellent. Please repeat the number again, 0922. How can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, 0922-889-0817.
All right. And before we finish our presentation for today, I want to give you also some updates on what's coming up. Today we had a laundry franchisor. If you're interested to get a copy of my book or about franchising, you can request so here in Facebook or send it through Messenger, and then we send it to you for free. Right now, still ongoing also the Cebu Franchise Expo, which is still running until November 29. You can go online at cebufranchise.com and visit the expo. We have more 35 companies who are available for Visayas and Mindanao. Please feel free also to read our online magazine, franchising.ph. Right now, we were printing that for 10 years, and now we relaunched it as a virtual magazine. So under www.franchising.ph, this is the present issue, and by December 1, the next issue will be uploaded. So, like Suds and Nothing But Laundry, both were developed by Ake Franchise Consultancy into a franchise system. If you're interested to have also your business franchise, please call us in Manila 8912-2946 or simply email us at rk@rkfranchise.com. Next Thursday, during the franchise hour, we talk about intellectual properties with Mr. Nerik Acosta and Mr. Adrian Balan from the IPO and Sokra Malaco from FIFA as guest speaker. And the last episode for the first year is we talk about franchising A to C, and I will be the speaker together with my marketing manager, Shay Lumbes. All right. So before we go, I would like to welcome back also Kaloy Ang. So all three of us are back. I would like to thank both of you, Billy and Kaloy, for
Thank you.
joining me
Thanks for
today
having us.
in the franchise hour, and I hope we have some other events coming up soon again. And I would like to thank also all viewers, and I hope the viewers, I see them again next Thursday for episode 11 of the franchise hour. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
All right.
Nice.
Bye-bye.